Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Schlage number 11-085 605. This is obviously a latch bolt. It's a square corner latch bolt, 2 1/4 by 1 inch. It's a deadlocking latch bolt, okay, and a 605 finish. This latch bolt would be very typically used on their Schlage A or AL series locks. This would be compatible with. It wouldn't be compatible with other series locks, such as the D, which is now discontinued, unfortunately, or the ND. While this latch may work, it's not meant for those locks and should not be expected to work correctly. It's a very generic design, however, so you'd probably see some success sticking it into other people's locks like Arrow and any of the countless cylindrical grade 2 knockoffs that exist. But it's not meant for any other lock other than the one it's been tested with. Not only tested with in the sense of it being engineered to work with it, but literally tested with. I'm going to pull back some of the peel away film, and you're going to see on the latch bolt, see if we can get the camera to focus on that, where it has a UL and then a capital letter F below it. It's a UL listed. Let me back up. It's a UL labeled bolt, which means it's listed, which means it's been tested. The capital F means it's been tested in a fire test, and the capital F specifically versus a lowercase f means positive pressure rather than neutral pressure. So when you're using this latch bolt on other locks, be mindful that mixing and matching does violate the integrity of the way that the lock and latch were tested together. So this is literally meant for this lock series that it comes out of. This is a 2 3/8 latch bolt. Nowhere on here will it measure 2 3/8 because cylindrical locks are measured from the edge of the door to the center of the hole. The back side of this body is about 1 3/8 or so. So it's about 1 inch shorter than what the back set would be. Edge of the door to the center of the hole. You know, to the trained eye, that's clearly 2 3/8. It's clearly shorter than the standard 1 3/8. There's a label on there as well that talks more about in detail of what the latch bolt is and has been tested for. And we'll take a little closer look at that label and what it says in a moment. It's a deadlocking latch, which means it would be used in an application where generally you had a keyed lock, meaning that when the latch bolt is properly installed and in the strike, the deadlocking tab is going to be held back. Okay, that's important because I can take my finger and I can push on this. When the deadlocking tab is held back by the strike prep, by the hole in the strike, I can no longer depress that because it's guarded or locked or bolted against opening. That helps prevent loiding of the latch bolt, tampering with it. When I have that held back, it's that attack of the flat-bladed instrument, the screwdriver, the butter knife, the credit card is going to be less potential to succeed, less opportunities for that to succeed when you have it properly installed. Generally only used on functions that have keyed locks, though I do have a client, a contractor that supplies things to the Navy who builds really high-tech equipment. And on all of their locks, passage or privacy, they always have a substitute in the deadlocking version of the latch bolt. That's the way they want it, is just the bottom line. Not passage, privacy, in fact, is how they have that. Doesn't really present a problem, but does help keep the latch in the extended state when the door is closed, preventing some sort of tampering. I can't say if it's tampering that they're more concerned with in a privacy situation, pushing that latch back, or if it's some sort of a situation where they want the latch to be in the secured position when it's extended, when the door is in the closed position for another reason. There might be an environmental factor that may be possible that they have learned that that's how they specify these bolts. 605 finish, that means polished brass. There it is. We'll include a couple of 832 wood machine combination screws, is what those are. That'll work for wood or metal doors. Let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at some of the supporting information. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Here is the item that we are indeed looking at. Let's take a look at some photographs that we have. There's the packaging and there's the contents. UL, capital F, side view. Oops. Showing the retracting portion, how these tangs will lock into the chassis of the lock itself. That's all important to keep the latch in place. There's your screw package. And then we have, of course, that label. Installation of Schlage lock is noted in the installation instructions. UL rated latch tubes must be paired with appropriate UL marked faceplate. Okay. 9NA3. That is a record locator at Underwriter's Laboratory. It is 2 1/4 tall, 1 inch wide. Probably very common that you'd use that in a residential application, 1 inch wide, maybe an 1 3/8 thick door. Commercial applications are 2 1/4 tall, but they're 1 1/8 inch wide. 2 3/8 back set. Square corner, it's dead latch versus a spring latch, which you'd use on passage and privacy normally. You'd use a dead latch also on non-keyed functions if you had an exit lock where you had a trim on the inside only and a blank plate on the outside or nothing on the outside. You'd use a dead latch for there even though there's no key. There's a link below this video here to the manufacturer's page, and when we click on that, we can pull up the manufacturer's page, which loads here. But first, let's take a look at the link to the cut sheet that's down below. It's a 2-page document, and it talks about the 11085. This is going to be used in the H series interconnected lock, is where this is coming out of. That's been discontinued. They still make interconnected locks, but it's under the S series now. It's also going to fall into the A series. They're grade 2 cylindrical. This chart is nice because it will show you the other latch bolts that are available. These are all deadlocking. The 11088 is a radiused corner. 11104 is a drive-in latch. That'd be this one here. 2 3/4 versions. They even have a 3 3/4 version as well. Now, what's interesting is the AL53. They're grade 2 cylindrical, which they've basically discontinued and been replaced by the ALX early in 2021. I want to get to the latch bolts for this. 11085. Yeah, they listed here. Right there. 11085. Other latch bolts are here as well. And this chart for the AL series lock I like a lot because it also gives you the spring latch part number. So if you're looking for 2 1/4 by 1 inch and a spring latch, it'd be an 11068 is the bottom line. In this page, this document is linked to down below this video as well. Now back to the manufacturer's page. When that loads, you can review not only all of the Schlage products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. As seen here, there are several and many encyclopedic documents on this page. The Primus service manual, the Everest 29 SL service manual, the SL cylinder. Everest is here as well, service manual. There is a sample letter of authorization if you're doing restricted keyways. You'll want to take a look and see what that looks like as it's filled out. It will be mandatory to submit completed letter of authorization when buying restricted keyways. Master template index. Up at the top of the page, I'd like to point you to the service manual. That's a 1,000+ page document. And then the Cylinders and Key Blanks Quick Reference Guide. All of these are really handy documents to have at your disposal. The Key Blank Reference Guide is nice. I don't recall the part number of their key blanks, but they're right here should you need to find them. Okay. Let's wrap up this video on camera. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. In conclusion, this video is just to bring you a closer look at this deadlocking latch bolt 2 3/8. Obviously available in the finishes that Schlage locks would be available as well. Not every finish. If you had satin chrome and satin nickel, that's going to be the same color latch bolt on the faceplate as well. Exceptional caliber technical support from Schlage is something that I experience every time that I contact them. They are irreplaceable when it comes to helping understand how their system works. The catalog is good. To be an expert level user of the Schlage universe, it kind of requires looking at the price list in tandem, because the price list is extremely full of how modifications can be made to the lock, such as buying a mortise lock in individual components, or taking a cylindrical lock and ordering it for an unusually thick door, things of that nature. Any questions on the Schlage 11-085 and a 605 finish, or any other Schlage product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.